Hello folks, welcome to Outdoors with Bud. I'm your host, Bud Fields. You know, I think it was in maybe January or February I done a short podcast on shooting a crossbow, but I didn't go into a lot of the safety ways of handling it and everything, and there's some important things that I need that I probably ought to stress to you, especially if you're thinking about going to a crossbow and you're unfamiliar with them. For one thing, on the crossbow, this is the shooting rail. The bowstring right here is in full contact with this shooting rail. So what you want to remember when you go to shoot the crossbow, never get your fingers up to where they're higher than that shooting rail, because when that bow is shot, that string's going to come forward and it can cut your fingers something terrible. Now on this crossbow, this is a 10 point. This has got a shroud right here, which actually keeps me from getting my fingers up there too high, but a lot of crossbows don't have that. But you always want to make sure you got your hands down here, well out of the way of that bowstring. Okay, now I'm going to show you how you cock one of these things. They've got a foot stirrup right here on the bottom edge. What you need to do is stick that down to the ground, put your foot in it. The reason for doing that is when you're pulling this cocking device up, you want that crossbow to stay where it's at. Now this particular bow, they've got a hand cocker rope that usually you carry around your neck, and you manually put it down there and you pull the string up. This has got one that's built into the side. Now it's got the hooks on it, and all you do is you pull it down, take it all the way down to the string. Now, can you see those hooks all right? That has to go onto your bowstring. So you put it around the bowstring, okay? And you want to put those hooks up as close as you can to the side of that shooting rail, then pull up. Now, I hope you heard that click. Then you take that shooting rope off of the cocking rope and you put it inside. These little handles have got magnets in it. And actually those magnets are powerful enough, they attract each other and hold that in there. So now I'm going to set this up here on this shooting device. Now, one thing about it is, like when you go to cock one of these, this is a safety right here. You always want this cocking device, or the safety handle, to be in the firing position. The firing position is forward. When you pull it back, if you heard that click when I done that, that was automatically setting it on the safety, okay? Now then, you need to put your arrow in the channel of that shooting rail. You need to push it all the way back. Now, when you push that all the way back, you just kind of sit right down. Now, this shooting device is called a bog, B-O-G, bog field pod. Now, this is adjustable. You can raise these legs up, adjustable like a tripod. You can raise it higher or lower. If you're hunting out of a ground blind, like a camouflage tent, or if you're just hunting on the ground with maybe some bushes and everything in back of you and you're hiding behind it, these are handy to have, because a crossbow can become pretty heavy just by holding it on your hands and everything. Now this thing here, you can adjust it to where it's going up and down. It's got V-block in the front and the back where you can raise it up. Okay, now when I get ready, as you can see my hand right here, I've got my hand down underneath that shroud. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of get it all lined up, hopefully. Okay, now when I'm ready to shoot, I take my thumb, I push the safety off. It's just like a gun, a shotgun or a rifle. It's got a safety device. Okay, if you heard that click, that means it's in fire mode. Now, I'm going to get in here and start aiming. Now, I want to tell you something. A crossbow is a lot louder than a recurve bow or a compound bow. This was a lot louder when you heard it because I've got my microphone right here on my shirt, and a lot of that noise that you actually was hearing was the vibration of that crossbow being shot, and it rocked back and forth. It's not really near that loud. So, you want to see how good that was? We'll walk down and take a look. Can you see that arrow? That's in the bullseye at about the 10 o'clock. If that was a deer, we would be dragging. Now, just to give you an idea, you see how far that went in? Now I'm shooting one of the actual broadheads that I use when I'm deer hunting. This is a retractable. It looks just like it's a it's from a crossbow, but these blades fold into there. They're slots, and when that hits the target, these blades will open. Now, a lot of people mistakenly think when you go deer hunting, when you shoot a deer, the hole is only the size of the diameter of the shaft. It is not. It's the diameter of that. So as you can see, the hole is going to be approximately this size right here. But when I pulled those out, those blades went up here and went into those slots. Because I like to set my bow up and actually shoot the exact arrows that I'm going to be hunting with and the exact points that I'm going to be hunting with. I'm not going to be shooting target points when I deer hunt. And I want all my arrows to fly the same way. And the only way you're going to achieve that is go out there, because I know, now we got a little bit of a crosswind here today. That was still in the bullseye. It was right about the edge of it at the 10 o'clock position. And now these bolts are 20 inches long, and that went in about that far. So this crossbow, I know for a fact, when it shoots a deer, I get complete penetration from my equipment, and I got a lot of confidence in it. Now, I was showing you this field pug over here. If anybody's interested in one of them, contact me, and I can cut you a good deal on it, because I use that a lot, and I also use those shooting sticks that I showed in that one podcast. But I don't like to go out and shoot targets like that very long. Once I get to where I've got confidence, like I'll sight in at 10 yards, I sight in at 20, I sight in at 30, and I sight in at 40, and I sight in at 50. Very rarely do I take a shot over 30 yards. Now 30 yards is actually back by where my wife's pond is. This is 20, so it's 10 yards farther back. And trust me, that crossbow puts that arrow in there that far each and every time. But a crossbow, I always said that I would never have one, I'd never shoot one, but one thing I didn't count on was I was not the man of steel that I thought I was. I had a lot of injuries in the past. I had a lot of corrective surgeries. I've had arthritis come in. It got to where I could not physically and comfortably shoot a vertical bow, like a long bow, a recurve bow, or my compound bows. I could not do it more than, say, maybe 2 or 3 times at the very most. And it got to where it was so painful, it was taking a lot of the fun out of it. Not only was I afraid of the pain and everything, I didn't like it, I was afraid that I would get out there and maybe make a terrible hit on a deer and cripple that deer and not retrieve it. And that can be easily done. The crossbow kept me in the woods and hunting. And I know a lot of people say you're no longer a bow hunter, no longer using archery equipment, but the only thing on a crossbow that can be related to a gun is the stock. Everything up on this end is a bow. You got your limbs, you got the bow quiver. It does have a telescopic sight on it, and this is one of the high dollar scopes. It's battery operated. I can actually turn it on, and my crosshairs on it. I've got a dot like at the top. I've got that set for 20, and then the next one is 30 and 40. But most of the places where I deer hunt, the only time I'm ever going to get a shot that far, I mean 40 to 50 yards, is if I'm hunting on the edge of a field and the deer comes across it. Most of my shots are from point blank right down under the base of the tree to maybe 30 yards. I can see them farther than that, but it's so thick you cannot get an arrow through there, and I don't like to take a risky shot. And that's one thing you got to do when you're going to be a deer hunter with a bow and arrow, is concentrate. But a crossbow has kept me in the woods for an additional 10 years. If I didn't go to the crossbow, I wouldn't be bow hunting right now. But once again, if you do get a crossbow, what I highly recommend is to get one that's got a shroud that keeps your fingers down underneath that shooting rail. Because here's your string, and when this is cocked, that string comes back like a V. If your fingers are up here, well, you can just imagine, here comes this string down across there, and it can cut your fingers pretty badly. Another thing is, treat this with the same respect that you would a rifle, a gun, or anything, because it's a weapon, and it can be used as a weapon. Okay, folks, I want to thank you for letting me come in and share some pointers with you. Deer hunting is a lot of fun. If you want to hunt with a crossbow, I say do it. If you don't want to hunt with a crossbow, you don't want to own one, don't buy one, and don't use it. But it's kept me in the woods, and it's also good for, like, if you got a kid that cannot pull back maybe a 50 or 60 pound bow, you can help them do, get this crossbow pulled back. And the only advantage is it's already preloaded when the deer comes in, and you've got that, when you got that arrow on there. So hey, I want to thank you once again. We'll look forward to some more outdoor adventures with Outdoors with Bud. God bless you. We'll see you in the woods.